Eighth grade boys. A few weeks ago, we took the better part of an hour in Lit Comp to check in. How are you doing? How are your classes? What's going well right now? What are the challenges? Are you surviving here in this windowless bunker, the 60s pod, under these fluorescent lights where you bided patiently with long suffering all year long? And boy, you let me know. The masks. You said, the cohorts. Google Classroom is the worst, you said. You were honest that day. Thank you. Gentlemen, I see that you value authenticity. Masks were hard because you want to be known, seen, and heard. And what good things you have to say. What amazing words you speak behind those masks. What fantastic ideas form behind them. Ms. Huffman says your talent for art distinguishes you. And not talent only, but passion. Some of you paint until the very last minute and are almost late leaving her class every day because of it. She says you, quote, love color theory and have an intuitive sense for blending beautiful grays and browns. She also says that one of her best moments this year was engaging with you in, quote, philosophical discussion about the nature of art. She praises you also for making expansive and mature observations that go beyond gut reactions of aesthetic enjoyment or revulsion. Your prowess with pen and pencil show up in Lit Comp too, as when you rendered the various ghosts from A Christmas Carol with care, intention, and awareness of beauty. One of you even rose to the challenge of drawing a hazmat ghoul complete with toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and an I voted sign. Obviously, the ghost of 2020. Your talents are real and tangible. You are so skillful with pen and paper, yet you spent so much of your time working with and looking at a screen. You were quarantined 3 times. Many of you struggled with Google Classroom. For some, it was difficult to wake up on time for remote learning and to get those pesky assignments submitted daily before midnight. But you endured. Ms. Harder admires you for, quote, staying the course with a teacher that appeared to you for 8 months as a talking head on the wall. Last month, she was thrilled to finally see you face to face. Ms. Harder has taught many 8th grade boys, but you, she says, do not disappoint. You are honest. When you do something wrong, you say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. Confronted with the truth about a bad choice, you own up and accept the consequences. You understand the impact of your actions and you know the power of words. One day after a grammar lesson, 3 of you approached me with faces like a puzzle to ask, can you form an entire sentence with only verbals? I'm still working on that. Miss Smith notes your growth in Latin where you are undaunted even by the convoluted word order of Latin poetry. And a week ago in my class, one of you effortlessly resolved a tricky line of poetry which I had previously pondered unsuccessfully with a colleague. You use your understanding of words to express gratitude. You fill our classrooms online and in person with gratitude every day, whether on Zoom or in person. Hearing thank you for class is something your teachers can count on. That and carrots. Carrots in the air, carrots underfoot. Boys, what was up with the carrots? And the condiment packets. Are you hoarding mustard? Are you caching ketchup? Anyway, that day I spoke of earlier, that day I invited you to speak your grievances. One of you fervently declared, I hate social distancing. You were so passionate. Gentlemen, your causes for frustration this year are many and are legitimate. Your impatience with the restrictions signals an amazing commitment to true connection. Thank you. You enrich our school with your talent and discipline, with your gift for relationship and your insistence on honesty. I cannot wait to see you and your whole face in a different year. But I would never have chosen to do this year with a group other than you. Congratulations, 8th grade boys.
Good morning, Thomas MacLaren School. This morning I have the privilege of honoring the 8th grade girls. Dear 8th grade girls, you are a lively, warm, and friendly bunch, and you did not allow the difficulties of this strange school year to dampen your spirits. What a year to be your farewell to middle school! Yet you met the restrictions, challenges, and disappointments with forbearance, resilience, and good humor. Indeed, I rarely heard you complain. Instead, you were grateful to be in school and came to class, whether in person or on Zoom, ready to learn, to work hard, and to have fun. Your spirit of gratitude and cheerfulness has been inspiring. You are a group of girls who take obvious pleasure in one another's company. Your affection for one another was evident in your joy upon being reunited after the weeks of separate cohorts and after various other separations. As a class, you were quarantined twice between October and December. The betas became so afraid of another such announcement that every time Mr. LeBady happened to walk into their classroom, they froze and gasped in dread. So he learned to enter the classroom saying the reassuring words, "I come in peace." Although the quarantine in the last week before the break prevented the betas from carrying out their planned Secret Santa, they did not let that stop them. In the first week back, an array of cheerful gift bags, ribbons, colorful wrappings, and friendly greetings on gift tags brightened up the back of our classroom. It was such a cheery way to start the year that one of you said, "We should always do Secret Santa in January." You are a group with a lot of ideas. Many a class in Lit Comp, you were so brimming with observations, questions, musings, and theories that 55 minutes was not long enough. The bell often found us in the midst of an argument or with several hands still in the air. The details you noticed and the connections that you drew enriched and deepened the experience of the text for all of us. I also discovered that you can become impassioned about your opinions, as when you vigorously argued about who was the rightful owner of the Arkenstone. However high your voices rose, though, you always made sure to begin by saying, "I respectfully disagree." When we read The Miracle Worker, all of you wanted to read parts. Who knew there were so many budding voice actors in our midst? Several of you acted out scenes, donning sunglasses and a shawl, spelling into one another's hands, wielding a doll, or crawling around the floor in pursuit of plastic spoons. You were moved by the stories we read, engaging wholeheartedly in discussions of friendship, loyalty, perseverance, and compassion. Some of you did research outside of school because you were so fascinated by Helen Keller, and some of you were so enthralled by The Chosen that you voraciously read ahead, and I had to remind you not to give away spoilers in class. You were curious about the Torah and the Talmud, and even requested to hear a sample of the notoriously difficult Freud, though we didn't have time for that. Your love of stories is not confined to Lit Comp. In Latin, the characters in the stories alternately elicited your sympathy, laughter, or righteous indignation. Miss Cook noticed that the alphas automatically felt the emotion of the characters, sympathizing immediately when they perceived the foreboding sadness in the phrase, "Oscula non iterum repetenda." In the betas, one of you wrote a letter in very strong language to Salvius, telling him just what you thought of him. Good thing the letter was entirely in Latin. This year you took the step from the comfortable familiarity of textbook Latin into the realm of original Roman authors, learning to navigate long sentences with bewildering word order and to appreciate poetry in dactylic hexameter. In addition to your literary and language skills, you are creative and artistic, and these talents manifest themselves beyond orchestra and art class. You created vivid depictions of Lake Town and the Lonely Mountain, mysterious drawings of Mirkwood, elegant maps, some of which would surely make Miss Harder proud, several delightfully cozy 3D constructions of Bag End, complete with food in the pantry, and one vast red dragon made of clay. You also showed your creativity in a soundtrack assignment in which, to evoke the adventures of a certain stormy night in the mountains, you did all sorts of things, running the faucet, dropping rocks, flapping sheets for wind, enlisting the panting and running feet of siblings, and playing a violin, in a way that Mrs. Hanson would not want to hear in orchestra, but which effectively portrayed the yammering of goblins. I have so enjoyed the hours we spent together discussing literature and translating Latin in the classroom, on Zoom, and in the sunshine under our tree on the edge of the lower field. You have been a delight to teach. May you continue to delve into texts in any language with attentiveness and vigor, engage in respectful argument and thoughtful discussion, create beautiful things, cultivate strong friendship, and carry a spirit of gratitude and resilience with you as you enter high school. Congratulations on your 8th grade year.